Hi everyone, this is Chef Bex. I'm the culinary director for the Stoller Wine Group. Once again, we are here on Chemistry's website, which is one of the coolest wine operations we've got going on the Stoller Wine Group. It is a fusion between the winemakers for Chehalem and the winemakers at Chemistry, the winemakers at Stoller, and they've come together to make a label that we call Chemistry. So we're gonna do a Earth Day celebration, Taco Tuesday. So we're gonna do a plant-based recipe, and we are going to feature Chemistry because come bond with us, man. It's the greatest label. So first of all, let's pour a glass of wine before we get started. Oh, everybody knows I'm a rosé kid, so I'm gonna do Chemistry rosé. This rosé is epic. It's so good. It's so good, you guys. So let's pour some in fine china and get going on some tacos. We're gonna come over here. Ah! I dropped my camera. That's my new phone mount. We're gonna test it up as we go. What up, Lauren? Hi. Hold on, let me grab my kitchen safe china. Kitchen safe china. Do we have any? Yes, I do. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So, Chemistry rosé. And what we're going to do is take a sip. And then we're going to start our plant-based recipe here. We've got all sorts of fun veggies and everything kind of going already. So what we're going to start with first is salsa maca, which is a very traditional Mexican salsa. 4 things. It is totally vegan. It's made with peanuts and oil and chili flakes and awesomeness. So it'll be really good. You guys bear with me as I learn my new phone mount here. Hopefully it's really helpful. So for our first salsa that we're going to do, we are going to get 1.25 cups of whether it's blended oil, I like grapeseed oil, blended olive oil that'll take some heat, vegetable oil, canola oil, doesn't really matter. It'll be all good from there. And we are going to pour it into a pan and start getting it warmed up, which I will show you in just 1 second here. All right, so we are going to do medium-high heat. So we'll show that. We're going to go to medium, right up there, right on medium. We've got our oil into the pan, and then we're going to use 6 cloves of garlic is going to be the first thing we throw into this pan, right? Of the oil heating up whole. Don't need to smash them, don't need to do anything. We are just going to cook these for like 6 minutes as I chat with you here about everything else and let those get golden brown. The recipe also will call for pickled vegetables, which I did shallots and jalapenos, and a pico de gallo, which you can make mine recipe, which the recipe will be put online with everything else, and or go buy some pico from the store, man. Safeway, Fred Meyer, Albertsons, all those guys, they make awesome store-bought pico. You do not have to make it if you don't have time or don't have the gumption to do so. But we will go over quickly how I make my pico, right? All right, so I'll show you guys real fast here. I seed and take the juices out of tomatoes because it makes it a little less watery. We are going to do a small dice of jalapeno and onion. You're going to zest. Where is my zest? Where are you? There you are, zest. Zest and juice of lime. And everything else, basically with the knife work, with anything on this recipe you need to do, you want to keep it small enough to fit into a taco shell. Because, let me tell you, the little taco guys are little. They're little. Little. So once you get your pico either bought or made, which is great, zest and juice and a lime, salt, pepper, onion, tomato, jalapeno, a little bit of raw garlic, however you like it. It's really, it's up to you. It's your recipe. It's your food. Make it the way you like it. And it's my chemistry wine. Yeah, rosé. So we have the pico set for pickled jalapenos and shallots. The real trick to pickling things like that is this little tool right here. This is a Japanese mandolin. This will cost you $30. You can get a big, nice, super cool French mandolin. They do take up a lot more space. They are also 10 times more expensive. So that's why this French cook, this is one of my few Japanese tools I use. So I use Japanese mandolin in order to get our shallots nice and thin and our jalapenos nice and thin. So with all pickling things, you do a standard, well, really not all pickling things, but a really great baseline recipe is 1-1-1. And that means vinegar, salt, sugar, right? So vinegar, salt, sugar or vinegar, water, sugar, sorry. Live videos are tough. Vinegar, water, sugar is your, bring it up to a boil ratio, which is great. You do not want to boil this recipe for very long because you don't really need to try and infuse the flavor into your vinegars and oils and salts and water into a pickling recipe because they're going to sit. So they're going to draw that flavor in and out anyways. You don't have to try and get it by boiling it out. So we're going to do, so what you're going to do is, I'll show you here. So this is my vinegar and water already mixed together. It's white wine vinegar, 1 cup water, 1 cup sugar. There's our raw veggies. That's what they look like. That's our mandolin veggies. Aren't they cute? And then you've got cilantro stems, a bay leaf, some garlic cloves, and coriander seeds are going to be your pickling aromatics. And then you just bring it all up, put them into a container, and then eat. Voila. So Tracy, now you know the recipe for your pickled jalapenos. Nathan and I don't have to make them for you. Love you, boss. Then for the next thing we're going to do also is our zucchini-based taco filling, which is going to be this beautiful tray over here, which we'll get to as soon as our oil and everything is all nice and toasty with our peanut salsa. All right, so we've got a little bit of movement happening in this pan. You can see the oil is starting to bubble up around the garlic, which is great. Sorry about that. We're going to look for the garlic to get a nice golden brown color, which I am going to now shoot you guys from here. Yep. Almost. Here we go. Little overhead action. Thank you, Amazon phone mount. So in this oil, you're just going to want to toss these guys around a little bit. And you're looking for them to pick up some color for our recipe. And then we're actually going to transfer them to with a slotted spoon to a plate. And then we're going to blister our chilies and also then do the peanuts into the Roboku, which I have a Roboku. You guys don't need to have a Roboku. Thanks, guys. You can have any food processor. You can even do it with a mortar and pestle. You do not have to have a food processor for this recipe. I am going to do it like that just for time's sake and everything, that it's going to look really good. And also because a Roboku has as much horsepower as your car does. Isn't that bonkers? Basically a giant blender. It's got as much power as your vehicle. So these are definitely starting to boil up here beautifully. So we're going to go ahead and get our chilies ready for this. And the crazy thing about dried chilies when you're using them is they are going to come whole. All right, so this is what they're going to look like. That's an ancho. This is a pasilla, chili California, chili New Mexico, any of these. All that works. And then these are arvels. This is if you were to do a Mexican chili that defines Mexican food, This is the guy. This is the guy that makes enchilada sauce taste like enchilada sauce. It makes mole spicy and beautiful. All of the things, right? So once again, we've got our garlic going over here. You can see it's really bubbling up as the water is extracted from garlic, and we're starting to get some color on those cloves. Real good color on those cloves. So when you are cleaning chilies, it's imperative, if you don't like it super spicy, to remove the seeds. So when you're taking your chili stems out, you can either, so some of these, you think they're really crispy, but they're not. They're kind of flexy. They're like really like a more like a 90% dry, right? I like to come in here with my scissors and snip around a little bit. That way it makes this stem a little easier to pull out. And I like to do this dried because, you guys, don't do this after you've already colored up your chilies. It is a real pain in the butt. And they're greasy and weird. And all of those seeds, that is nothing but fire. That is hotness in your sauce. So if you like it super spicy, go for it. Leave them in. Leave them whole. And if your food processor can handle it, leave the stems in there. Who cares? It's all delicious if you like that level of heat. If you don't, then what you're gonna do is take that top off like I did, snip down this side, and dump those seeds out, just like that, right on your floor. Right on your floor. And make somebody else come sweep it up. Just kidding. Well, I would do it in my sink, but the fun mount is here. So, we've got our garlic all toasted up. And this is what it's gonna look like. See how nice and roasty and pretty that is as it's going, right? So you got your oil on your medium heat. You've got your garlic all nice and beautiful and toasty. Then what I want you to do is pull it out, right? Pull the garlic into something else. You don't want to keep cooking. You don't want to burn it. You don't want to make it bitter or weird. None of that, right? And now we're going to flip this over, and I'm going to show you guys a way to make you'll see things on recipes where it's like blister chilies. Okay, we're going to blister the chilies quickly in this oil, and it's only going to take a few seconds in each one, and what you're going to look for is it puffing up. So the chilies will actually puff. So this will be great, right? All right, so let's turn our attention to our pan where, I see I have a rogue garlic down there. He's a little darker than his friends, but we still love him. He's a good guy. Look at that sucker. It's delicious. Okay, so there we go. There's a good view of the pan. That way you guys can see it. So I like to do the chilies individually. That way each varietal, I should say. That way I can keep a hold of the differences, because the differences in size make a big difference in the time it takes for them to puff and blister. So you can see how they're roasting up, they're softening, they're starting to get these gentle blisters on them, and all of that is going to make the blending of this sauce so much easier. All right, and this process will only take like 30 seconds to at most a minute, depending on how much water, oil, or water and dryness of your chili there is. Okay, so we got anchos out. Let's go in with some pasillas. Right up in our sauce there, or our oil there. Let them poof. Poof. There's one that's poofed. That one's poofed. This guy's taking a little extra long. Rotate them around. Just looking for them to puff and soften for our process here. There we go. There we go. Keep all that oil in there. We will use the same oil that we are putting all of the chilies and garlic through to make our final sauce. And then the arbals straight into the party as well. Boom, boom, boom. Puff and soft, puff and soft. And you can tell as you're grabbing these, like with your tongs, you can see like they will go from crispy to very limp real quickly as soon as they get warmed up and toasted up in all of that oil. So yeah, so it was a 1.25 cups of grapeseed or whatever oil you love to use, blended, extra virgin olive oil, whatever you like, as long as it can take some heat and not have a bitter aftertaste. And then we are going to kill the heat. Oh wait, no, we're not gonna kill the heat yet. We still have to toast our peanuts in this oil too. So we got the chilies done, we got the garlic done. Now we're gonna throw in peanuts, all right? So these are gonna take about 2 minutes in here. We're looking for them to start bubbling and get golden brown. And while that's doing that, I'm gonna show you guys the food processor. So this is a Roku. That's the thing that's got as much horsepower as your car. I don't expect anybody at home to have anything of that strength, which is why I said any food processor, even a KitchenAid attachment will be great. Anything where you like to process your food and or a mortar and pestle. Totally work if you're super old school and want to just pound that sucker out by hand. All right. So once you've got your peanuts done, they're going to saute in this same oil for about 2 minutes or so. You are going to take a slotted spoon and remove the peanuts from the oil so that we can start blending them up in the food processor. So to the food processor, we're going to, while we're waiting for our peanuts to cook, I'm gonna put our garlic right up in this sucker. And our chilies that are all toasted up. Don't have to dice them, don't have to do anything. They're warm, they're pliable, they're toasted, they've got all that good flavor. That's the anchos, so it's 4 anchos, 4 pasillas, 10 chili de árbol. And because I've never done anything in my life without throwing things on the floor, without salting it first, I'm gonna put some salt in there right now, right off the bat. Okay, salt into your food processor with the garlic. And then what I like to do before my peanuts are completely done is just give this, if you lock it in place correctly, give this a couple of quick pulses. And now we've got our peanuts are toasted. You can see that they're getting golden brown, which is awesome. Golden brown, peanuts are delicious. This sauce gives such body to Spanish food. It has depth of flavor, it's got saltiness, it's got crunch, it's got all the things you're looking for, especially in a vegan recipe when you're not putting in extra stuff. So, we've got our peanuts out. We've got our chilies done and garlic done the first pulse in the food processor. And you're going to go ahead and put your peanuts up in that bad boy too. And then let your oil cool for about a minute or two, just so it's not super hot as you're drizzling in with this recipe, just because hot oil starts to get a little cracky and weird if you have any other liquid or any other like wet, watery, moisture stuff in here. Hot oil does not like that. So you're just gonna let this rip. Let her rip. She's a ripping. So one big thing about food processors is you have to stop them periodically and scrape the sides down, okay? It's a big pro tip. So we'll stop it. We will take this top off if it wants to cooperate. That's the problem with too hot a thing. Grab your rubber spatula. Just scrape the sides down. And then we will take our oil that we cooked all of our stuff in here and drizzle it into the sauce as it spins. So we've got our oil. So another reason why I love quart containers and pint containers in the kitchen, because they are heat resistant and super easy to use. So you just turn your food processor back on. Drizzle. then your final salsa will look something like this. This is a super rustic. I shouldn't do that with my hands because the roommates are going to eat it. It's coronavirus season. So you'll taste it, adjust the salt. I guarantee you right now I'm going to want more salt in this. So I'm going to go ahead, even without tasting it, and put some more salt up in that bad boy. All right. So your final salsa will look like this after it's rested. I made this one a little while ago. You can see it's starting to separate just a little bit. It's super tasty. It's roasty. It's nutty. It's crunchy. It's spicy. It's just round, beautiful sauce that won't make you miss things like cheese in your tacos. Okay? So we've got that. I think that most people know how to saute zucchini and saute all of the things, right? So you're going to do a quick saute of onion, garlic, and bell pepper for the base of your dish. Diced zucchini. Then you're going to throw in some corn. You want to know what I love about corn? Frozen corn is awesome. For all these kinds of recipes, frozen corn is really, really, really where it's at.
Hey, Chef, you have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the shelf life for this salsa, and how long can we keep it in the fridge?
Shelf life for that sauce? Epically long time. You can keep it in the fridge for a year, at least. That's part of why it's so traditional and awesome, is because when you do oil or a nut-based sauces like that are super heavily spiced, they last forever. They're great. And also in our tacos, we're gonna put some black beans and cilantro. And then I love taco seasoning. Why? Because it's got all of those ingredients that I listed on a recipe on the website in it. God bless you, taco makers. Thank you, taco seasoning. So it's cayenne, chili powder, cumin, paprika. It's got garlic, onion. It's got all sorts of things in it. Just anything you could possibly want. Dried oregano is another big one into Mexican taco spiced like that. So yeah, so it's awesome thing for a quick cheat, so you don't have to do dried spices. So we've got pico, we've got pickled veg, we've got tortillas, and we've got a zucchini filling with corn, black beans, bell pepper, onions, garlic, and cilantro, and a little taco seasoning. And then we're gonna make some tacos. It's gonna be great, right? Let's plate some tacos. Hey, Corinne, can I ask you to come and hold this for me over here? Ugh. Right there is perfect. So the first thing we need to do is, where did I put the chemistry wine? There it is. Pour yourself a glass of chemistry wine. Boom. Rosé or Pinot Gris. If you're a Stoller lover or a Chehalem lover, either one of those rosés, either one of the whites, whether it's Pinot Gris, Pinot Blanc, the Gruner from Chehalem. Gruner, that's chef's Gruner, is awesome. One of the things about toasting up tortillas is you can actually do them into a pan or straight onto your burner. You're gonna get these little like ring marks if you've got an electric burner like mine, but they're great anyways. So let's make some tacos. And magic of TV, we shall get out our mix. So that's what the corn salsa, or I should say corn, black beans, bell pepper, and zucchini will look like after it's been taco seasoned and cooked up. Awesome. Okay. So let's get a spoon. Chefs love spoons. And let's also get some gloves. Because the fam will be eating this later. Okay, so, you like my fuzzy slippers, everybody? Yeah, Finny was barking in the background, yes. He loves to throw in his 2 cents worth into all his videos. He was in the kitchen, too. He was in the kitchen! He was in the kitchen. Oh, that little badger. He must have known I dropped some things on the floor. All right, so you've got your salsa mix, or your base mix here. You're just gonna put some of that straight down onto your tortillas. Right? Delicious. Right up in there. Hey. Hey. Hey.
We hear you, Penny. We hear you.
You're fine. Take some cilantro and put it right up on the bad boys. Yes. Some pico. If you're into pico, great. Store buy it. Make mine. Don't care. Love it. It's awesome. And then last but not least, the weird peanut sauce you didn't know you needed in your life until now. So you can see it's kind of thick. And you literally can just put it on as a garnish right up on there. It's gonna have crunch, it's gonna have depth, it's gonna have all those things where you could put, whether it's a crema or sour cream or cheese or whatever you like on your tacos. This will give you that same mouth feel that everybody loves. Garnish with a couple of little radishes. Where's my... Do a little radish action here. Here we go. And a fresh lime wedge. And boom, you've got tacos with your chemistry rosé. Boom. All right, I'll take that back. All right, guys, so this has been Chef Bex. It's been super fun. Once again, this is all going to be available on the chemistry blog, the Stoller wine group. And, oh, I forgot to put the pickled veg on. You're so good. Mindy, thank you. And with 2 minutes to spare, I shall put the pickled vegetables on. And I'm going to reach in with my gloved hand. Everybody loves the pickled vegetables. They're so good. They're so good. Let's get a couple of jalapenos on there too. Jalapenos. Avoid the coriander seeds. And then, now we can enjoy our tacos with our chemistry wine. Thanks, you guys. It's been super fun. I hope you have a great time making my vegan taco recipe, and I will see you again next time for Cooking with Bex. Have a great night.